Just waiting for some few people to join. Ankit, your video is off, by the way, so I can switch it on. Yep. So just waiting for a few people to join. As soon as we have at least 5 viewers, we'll start. Currently, there are none. Hi, Ankit. We'll start.
Start.
Yep. A very warm welcome to all of you, and thank you for joining us in today's webinar on data analytics. We are sorry we were facing a few technical issues, which are now resolved. Uh, so yeah, my name is Ravi, and I'm a program manager with upGrad. And our today's session is with Ankit Jain. Ankit Jain is one of the most renowned data scientists of the country. He's an alumnus of IIT Bombay, and he has post which he did his MS in financial engineering from UC Berkeley. He has worked in Silicon Valley a lot, including a stint with Facebook as a data scientist. In his most recent role, he was data at the head of data science and analytics with Roadrunner, India's most famous hyper-local delivery startup. He also has a keen interest in education, and so far he has mentored over 100 students in the field of data science. A quick agenda for the day: Ankit will talk about the topic on hand, post which we'll take a few questions if time permits, that is. And finally, I'll just give you guys a quick overview of the program on data analytics that upGrad has in collaboration with IIT Bangalore. We'll just talk about what the program is all about, how is it structured, how is it delivered, and more importantly, what are the unique points of the program which set it apart from the others. Let me just invite Ankit Jain to talk on the 5 qualities which make a good data scientist.
Yeah, thanks, Ravi, for the introduction. So really warm welcome to all of you guys. Thanks for making out time on at around 8 p.m. India time. So definitely great to see you all. So let me start with sharing my screen, and then we can go over some things, right? So I hope everybody is able to see my screen. Characteristics of a good data scientist or of a data scientist. Actually, this is one of the topics that I have been fiddling with a lot in terms of understanding what makes me a good data scientist or what makes others a very good data scientist. And how do we define those qualities that are required for being a data scientist? And there are a lot of misconceptions going around, which kind of bias your opinions at times, but I'll try to clear some air here in terms of what is required for being a good data scientist. First of all, data science is a hot career, and these are the 2 prominent figures which kind of speaks volume. So 2.5 into 10 to the power 18 bytes of data generated every day, and 150,000 shortage of data scientists in US alone in 2018, as per McKinsey and Company. So you can see that data science is a growing career, right place to be in terms of your career growth. And also the job is a lot satisfying by fiddling with data, making business decisions with data, or driving business or building products through data. So with that in mind, who is a data scientist? Like, there are a lot of misconceptions. Like, data science requires minimum of X years of experience. Many recruiters will say that to you. Data scientists should have minimum of PhD level skills in mathematics to succeed. Many recruiters and hiring managers say that to me also at times. But however, these 2 things, although they might help in becoming a better data scientist, but should not be a requirement for being a data scientist. And so let's define who is a data scientist. Another way to look at it, like some people think they are scientists, they're engineers, they're programmers, they're business controllers, financial controllers, or a new breed of decision makers and innovators. Like there are so many definitions these days who they actually are. And what makes a good data scientist is a confusing problem, I would say, at times, which is quite important to understand before you'll be embarking on a journey of becoming a data scientist, so that you can make sure that you acquire all these qualities to become a better data scientist in the industry. Okay, so I'll discuss 5 qualities of data scientist, and they are pragmatism, curiosity, statistics, mathematical skills, programming, and communication. So let's go over them one by one. So pragmatism, I think if you're working in a university level, pragmatism is sorry. If you're working on a university level, pragmatism is not so much important. Uh, but when you're working in the industry, and most of the data science team I have done or I have built, uh, I would hire a person who actually thinks about before getting started on the likely outcomes this data project will go on, and ROI on efforts, time, and resources needed. How much your efforts is required to solve some business problem. Like say, if I spend 2 weeks, I can optimize 2% or increase 2% of my whatever conversions or sales by applying the latest machine learning algorithms, like say deep neural nets or deep learning or something like that. But as opposed to if I do simple count sum average, uh, I would be able to improve another part of the product with say impacting 20% of sales. So you have to kind of understand that how much effort is needed, how much time is required, and how much resources are needed. Sometimes being a startup or a not big company or not big teams, you are constrained on resources. So you have to understand what is required, what is the best way to proceed in a particular project, or how to choose between particular projects. So again, third point is very, very crucial to me, is like ways to apply simple algorithms to have maximum impact. So I've seen this particularly in the junior data scientists who just arrive in the industry. The fascination is to apply the latest machine learning algorithm or most complex machine learning algorithm, because it just looks cool. And I think that's the wrong way to approach the problems. You should approach the problems in terms of the impact and not starting from machine learning. So start from a business problem and don't start from machine learning, and that way you can be more pragmatic on what to implement, what to not. Let's do the second one. Curiosity. I think this is by far the most important trait. If you are curious, you will become a better data scientist no matter what. If you have a PhD, even if you don't have a bachelor's, you will definitely become a better data scientist if you have a good curiosity. So data scientist is many a times a detective work. So basically you are trying to find that one needle from the haystack that will drive business. So there is a huge piles of data, and you have to do a lot of data preparation, which is by far the 80% of the work we do. Data preparation, data wrangling, and then find one insight and present it to the business managers so that they can act upon, so that it improves finally revenue of the company. Okay, and for being a good detective, you need to be curious. You need to have various angles to look at the problem. You need to have taking a step back on understanding what are the different facets, what might be important, or just curious to get more data or solve the problems in a meaningful way. And by far, being curious and doing some basic data preparation is 100 or 99.99% time more effective than applying a latest deep learning algorithm that we all hear about. So try to develop this curiosity part for data. Try to look at data from various angles, and try to be detective on that front. That's my advice to people. Statistics and problem solving skills. So logical thinking, and I think many people have talked about this, and you must have heard this from people. So this, and particularly programming skills. So definitely require logical thinking and critical reasoning skills. So keep practicing on, keep understanding on how something can be improved. Like if you see Facebook as a product for now, think about how it can be improved. Think about how like like the phone UI can be improved or something like that. So think about products into understanding reasoning of it as to how those can be improved. A regular thought process on that front would give you understanding on how you can use data to derive at a better decision making or a better product. Okay. So think about all the data people collect, be it at a restaurant owner who is collecting or somebody else who is collecting. Think about all the data people collect and how we can better leverage that data to solve some problem. Again, knowledge of basic statistics is definitely required. Without that, you won't go anywhere. And for predictive modeling applications, definitely machine learning knowledge is required. Again, I emphasize this, that this also can be learned skills, like basic statistics and machine learning can be learned very easily. Something you should focus on is the previous two qualities and the critical reasoning part, which takes some time to develop. Programming skills. So for programming, actually, I would say it's decent programming skill to the extent that you should be able to implement your own idea into code. So when you do data science, you'll get a lot of ideas as to how to look at data, how to build a model, how to deploy a model, and everything. All data scientist needs in terms of programming is implement that idea into code, or so that you can actually implement and show it to someone. So this is quite important, because without coding skills, you have all the three skills before: pragmatism, curiosity, and statistics. You won't be able to do anything. So I think this is quite important. But again, I would like to emphasize that is required. It's not required to the level of a software engineer, that you are writing test cases many a times or debugging a lot. Although having that level of skills will also add to your profile, because these days people do demand a good programming and good statistics skills, and having both of them is a deadly combination in my opinion, and then you're indispensable in the company. uh, what kind of languages data scientists prefer is say R, Python, Scala, or big data frameworks like Spark, Hive. SQL is very well known, NoSQL, and familiarity with AWS also helps, particularly if you're in the technology industry of startups. But other than that, like there is no point going into like deep computer software engineering skills that people do. Uh, but if you have that, that's well and good. Um, so, and finally, communication. So no matter how good of data scientist you are, how good of analyst you are, if you cannot communicate, your all the work has got no meaning. And that is true. Many data scientists in the industry have, say, like PhD level skills of mathematics and everything. They're good at analyzing. They kind of do a lot of work analyzing stuff, and are pretty good at it. And they have all the base covered in terms of stats, maths, and programming. But what they lack is an effective communication with business users. Ultimately, data science is a partner to business, and data science helps drive business. So it's very important for you to communicate with business stakeholders to derive maximum impact out of your findings. And one of the ways is, like, you explain complex statistical concept easily to business users. Think about, if you know some statistics, think about how would you communicate standard deviation to a business user. Think about how would you compute mean. I think mean everybody understands, but mean to a business user, right? So they don't know, business users don't know complex statistics. If you explain them in simple terms, they'll use your findings and actually implement them. Many times what has happened is people do a lot of statistics but don't communicate well. Business users don't get what they're trying to say, they don't implement it, and the good insight is lost because the communication gap was there. So try to be better at that. and produce a clear visualization that is easy and fast to interpret by business users. So on and all, I would say simplify the message, and that is the thing you should take away. Always simplify the message. Always use simple algorithms over complex algorithms. um, I think that's where the industry is. If you are working in a lab or a research university, I think these things don't apply completely, because there, discovering a new algorithm is a win rather than implementing an existing algorithm. So if you're working in industry, or if you're planning to work in the industry, these are the 5 qualities I would think, which are quite important, and you should take steps to develop them. So in conclusion, so nobody has mastered all the skills. Nobody is, I have not seen who's perfect in all of them. There are always gaps. So no need to worry if you think you are not there. uh, so everybody has to learn at some level, but at the same time you have to keep in mind at what you need to learn for. So I would say, if you want to be hired, if you are strong in 3 areas with basic programming and statistics, you definitely have a shot at being a data scientist. So you don't need to master all the 5, master 3. Okay, if you master 3, you'll definitely, including basic programming and statistics knowledge, you definitely have a good shot at being a data scientist, and people will consider you, and hiring actually takes place in that manner itself. Next I'll say is like learn the skills by doing. So people I've seen doing the mistake of just reading too much theory, and just try to read theory, yes, definitely, but try to do practice a lot by projects and everything. I think upgrad course is very apt on that front, which helps you practice through various projects and build a portfolio which you can showcase to people, showcase to recruiters or managers, or those kind of people. And finally, yes, and finally, you don't require a PhD. I've seen only bachelor's people succeeding very well in data science domain. Obviously, PhD helps in understanding your basic, in covering the grounds of basic programming and statistics knowledge. But at the same time, you don't require a PhD or even a master's to succeed in data science domain. So if you master 3 of the 5 skills that I've been mentioned, I think you should be in a good shape to become data scientist. And I think upgrad course is pretty apt on making you learn, probably not 3, all the 5 areas that you'll see at the part of this course. Thank you.
Hello. Thanks a lot, Ankit, for that very informative session on data science. We have a few questions. We'll just quickly take a few questions, and if you can just help us answer those questions. So Siddharth here asks how to learn machine learning from scratch, and he also asks whether there are any books that you can recommend.
Yes. So I would say, machine learning from scratch. So there is one very famous videos of Andrew Ng on Coursera. You will find machine learning, the basic course in machine learning, which are very helpful for understanding the basics of theory, but they are very high level. So basics of theory would be understood by that course by Andrew Ng. Secondly, what you can do is there are, so one book I recommend is for statistics is Elements of Statistical Learning. Use that as a Bible of statistics kind of thing, that you can refer to and take concepts and understand concepts. Thirdly, for machine learning, there is no one book that I can recommend, but or there are many books that are very good, but I'll recommend, let's say, one book is Machine Learning from Scratch with Python. So I think that is one book where it goes through various steps through basics that you can have understanding of machine learning basics. But on top of it, yes, upgrad course. It's very detailed and very thorough. You have a better shot of becoming a data scientist through upgrad than learning by your own at times.
Thanks a lot, Ankit, for answering that question. Another question that I'm getting is Can you talk a little bit more on the roles of a data scientist? Can you elaborate on that a little bit more?
Sure. So on the role side, I think the industry is divided into majorly two kinds of data scientists, or one people call it as data analyst and one as data scientist. So think about, for example, that you work at Facebook as a data scientist, right? Let's say one type of data scientist, what he'll do is some product manager will come to him and say that the engagement or the number of people logging in New York is less than number of people logging in San Francisco. Tell me what is happening. So you being a data guy, you are being the detective guy, you actually ran through all the data points and understood that that the that the girls actually are not logging in New York, and in San Francisco, girls are logging in high. So there is some problem with logging of girls in New York as compared to San Francisco. So you go to the product manager and communicate these findings, and product manager thinks that, okay, hypothetically, let's change the color of Facebook to pink or something like that to make more girls join in. For example, so in this whole scenario, what has happened is somebody came you up with a problem to you. You did all the analysis and understood what is the insight. You communicated the insight, and a human product manager took a decision to change the color of Facebook, right? So one part is where you do the analysis and a human takes a decision. That is one kind of data scientist. So in this kind of data scientist, you require very good communication skills because you have to communicate with human beings. A little low on machine learning, but decent stats and programming knowledge again. As opposed to the second kind of data scientist, let's say you are trying to build people you may know, pages you may like, or games you may play product for Facebook, something like recommender systems. In that case, no human being is sitting at Facebook and seeing my profile, or I should recommend Ankit these friends so that he can add them, right? It's an algorithmic generated feed, right? And the guys who are doing the algorithms, who are building those kind of algorithms, are generated by data scientists. So in this second part, a computer is taking a decision for you and not a human being, and that is a difference. So when a computer takes a decision, you have a different skill requirement of skills for data scientists. When a human takes a decision, there are different requirements for skill of a data scientist.
Thanks a lot, Ankit, for answering that question. We'll just take a few more questions and then we'll move on to the coming up segment of the webinar. So yeah, the other question that we have is, what is the difference between a business analyst and data scientist?
Yeah, so business analyst and data scientist, like I mentioned, business analyst is many a times driving product or operations or marketing through developing insights and communicating to them business holders. So there is a human being who takes a final decision, like VP of marketing, VP of product, or VP of operations, rather than the analyst, rather than the computer or the analyst himself, right? In a data scientist, typically, and the term has been used a lot in terms of misnomer, but typically what should happen is a computer should take a decision, like recommended products on Netflix, recommended movies on Netflix, recommended products on Amazon, or pages you may like, games you may play on Facebook. So on these things, a computer has to take a decision. Where when the computer has to take a decision, you require a good level of machine learning skills, which are not required for a business analyst. So that is the major difference, I would call.
Thanks a lot, Ankit, for answering that question. A follow-up question to that is, can you describe a data scientist's day at work? How is the work exactly? What does a data scientist do on a day-to-day basis?
Sure. Typically, when I work on so projects are generally like not one day long. In general, they are week at least. And say you are given a problem on Monday. What you will start doing is start thinking about laying out the framework. So I'll explain in a week's framework, because week's time, not a day's time, because it varies how people function. But say you're given a problem of say Facebook only, that people are not logging in New York, in San Francisco. What is happening, right? So this is an open-ended problem, and now you can dig deep into data, start thinking about what might be affecting that, and start laying out the possible causes. Okay, so once you've laid out a possible causes on your paper, what you do is you extract data, and you think what data is important, and extract data onto your laptop, for example. So once you've extracted data, now what you do is start preparing the data to develop insights. So you look at various angles, you try one angle, it doesn't work, you try another angle, it doesn't work. So a lot of data preparation that goes on, or data wrangling, I would call it, that goes on to try to develop that insight. And you keep on doing it till you find the right insight that is required to kind of, that is a cause, a root cause of that thing. And that is one way. Another way is saying that you need to develop a machine learning model for it. Like say, if my customers are churning out, how do I predict churn of customers? So in that case, what you do is, again, you do the exact same steps of getting the laying out the framework, getting the data, understanding the data, preparing the data, and looking at various slices and dices of data, and then finally you build a machine learning model which make predictions, and that requires some machine learning knowledge. And after that, once you have understood, like when you have developed machine learning algorithm, you check its accuracy, and then finally you report back the accuracy to business people and deploy the model.
Thanks a lot, Ankit, for answering the question. One final question that I have is, what is the difference between machine learning and AI?
Okay, so AI I would call is the next step to machine learning. And again, I would call that it's more of a marketing term than anything else. So these days, AI has been used in terms of robotics and those kind of areas, like self-driven cars or image recognition or text prediction or something like that. And that's where the major of use cases, as you find talking about AI. However, AI is just nothing but machine learning applied to some other domains, I would call it. Okay, or advanced machine learning applied to some other domains. So AI, as the name suggests, is artificial intelligence, is the intelligence by a computer. So you can develop intelligence by computer by just doing a simple machine learning algorithm also, or you can do at very complex level to the extent that machine can drive itself on the road. So yeah, so that is the difference. I think it's more of a marketing term than I would call a huge difference. But yes, AI is like a more advanced form of machine learning that we see today.
Thanks a lot, Ankit, for answering that question. Another question that I have is, how should a fresher, someone who does not have any experience in the field of data analytics or data science, actually, enter into this field?
Yes. So for entering into this field, that's as I mentioned, you need to learn the basic skills and learn the skills by doing. So basic programming statistics is required, yes, but then you would be hired as a data scientist if you have a good portfolio of projects. Even if you don't have experience, that is fine, as long as you have good portfolio of projects. And the projects show your other three skills of pragmatism, curiosity, and communication, and also some part of programming and statistics. So learn the skills by doing. Learn basic programming, learn basic statistics through various online courses that you can see, or any practice through projects. But I think the best way is to do a formal course like upGrad, which will teach you all the skills in a very structured manner, and it should be well worth your time.
Thanks a lot, Ankit, for answering all those questions. This was indeed a very informative session on data scientists and what data scientists actually do, and what skills are required to become a good data scientist. We have another 10 minutes on the clock, so I'll just quickly spend some time talking about the upGrad's program that we have in collaboration with IIT Bangalore. So for those of you who are not already aware, upGrad is an online education platform, And here our aim is to create academic programs which help working professionals acquire new skills and reach their full potential. Right. So our entire purpose is to build programs which are extremely engaging in nature, right? And because we feel that in today's fast-moving world, all of us need to upgrade our skills at regular intervals just to stay relevant in today's industry. But to do that, not everyone has the luxury to actually quit their jobs and compromise on their professional careers and actually go and pursue a program full-time in a university. So our aim is to essentially provide very extremely engaging programs which are very simple, easy to do, at the same time which are academically rigorous, which do not compromise on your classroom teaching at all. In fact, it supplements it, adds to it, and finally, which help analytics, which help working professionals upgrade their skills and become industry relevant. Right. So data analytics, as all of you might be aware, is one of the most fastest growing fields in today's corporate world, simply because there's a lot of data being generated, and in across industries, a lot of companies are waking up to the power of data. All companies across the board are using data to sort of understand their customers better, improve their profitability, and just to become more competitive in their respective sectors. So which is why we at upGrad have this program. We started this program in collaboration with IIT Bangalore. So let me just go ahead and share my screen and give you guys some quick details about the program. Right. So so when we started out building this program, right, we spoke to a lot of corporate professionals ranging from startups to large conglomerates like Tata and Reliances of the world. We spoke to a lot of industry experts like Ankit Jain, just trying to figure out what should be included in this program, how should what this program should cover, what the curriculum should be, right, and what is the value, what should we design, how should we design this program so that people derive the maximum value out of a data analytics program. Right. So one of the things that's very strongly came out in interactions with the industry is that all the current applicant pool, right, people who are applying to data analytics job, they might know, they might have some theoretical understanding of mathematical statistical concepts. They may or may not know one of the tools that are used in data analytics, but one of the things that they generally lack is the ability to solve complex business problems given in a business context, right? So they don't have this problem solving ability, right? And which is why we sort of thought that yes, this is a pillar on which we can create a program. So our program, just to talk about things that make our program unique, our program is extremely industry relevant. We make sure that your learning remains relevant to the industry and you are actually learning applications which are required by the industry, right? And we do this by involving industry professionals at every step of the program. They help us in designing course, delivering content, and in designing case studies. And every case study is designed in collaboration with an industry partner, where you will be given actual problem statements faced by these experts in their jobs, and then you will be solving them using your understanding of the program. The other way by which we make sure that your learning remains industry relevant is by giving you face time with these experts. So every weekend you'll have live hangout sessions with one of the several industry experts that we have on our panel. We also have monthly offline sessions in key cities like Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, Hyderabad. Just to talk about, just to give you quick details about the program, this is an 11-month program in collaboration with IIT Bangalore. At the end of this program, you get a diploma, postgraduate diploma from IIT Bangalore. This entire program is divided into 6 modules. In the first module, you will learn about data management. Right. This module will lay a strong foundation on data analytics and will equip you on which statistical tools like R are used in data analytics. The second module talks about statistics and exploratory data analytics. Here you will learn how to explore data sets to formulate hypotheses and design experiments. Course 3 and course 4 are dedicated to predictive analytics and machine learning. right? Here you will understand the relevance and power of prediction across industry verticals. And by the end of these two courses, you will have knowledge of different machine learning algorithms also and their applications. Course 5 is dedicated to big data analytics, which will demystify the jargon of big data analytics, and you will understand how to navigate through huge data sets to derive insights. In the 6th course, we have domain electives where you can choose to customize your PG or postgraduate diploma by specializing in a domain of your choice. So you can choose from BFSI, e-commerce, retail, healthcare, life sciences, right? And here you will learn the most common problems being faced in these industries and learn specific examples of analytics in the industry of your choice. So this will help you customize your PG diploma and give you that extra edge on your CV, which sets you apart in the job market. Right, in the last leg of the program, you will do a 3-month long capstone project. So this is a more rigorous version of the case studies. Here you will take a business problem and solve it end to end using concepts and understanding from the course. And this will be mentored by an industry expert who will connect with you at regular intervals and provide guidance on your project, right? So let me just quickly talk about what makes this program unique. Right. So first is obviously this is in collaboration with IIT Bangalore, which is one of the most prestigious institutes of higher learning in the country. So you, at the end of this course, you get a postgraduate diploma as opposed to just a certificate of completion, which is the case in a lot of online courses, right? And all this without leaving your job. Second, this course is extremely industry relevant. This makes sure that you're learning things which are actually used by the industry in different domains. For example, you will do a lot of case studies and assignments in different verticals from finance, e-commerce, retail, right? And you will actually pick up skills, understand the concepts, and actually get to know how to solve business problems in these fields using data analytics, right? Apart from this, we have a lot of industry leaders on board. We have corporate partners, and the list is huge. We have people from Cognizant, Genpact, Uber, Grameener, Arvind Mills, and the list goes on and on. It's a long list, and all these people are on board with us. They help us create content, deliver content, and create case studies. Right. So we also have a capstone project, which I already spoke about. Apart from this, we have a lot of very strong academic support system in the form of our faculty, industry lecturers, teaching assistants, right, which will help you which will be present throughout the duration of a program and help you resolve any academic or doubts which you face over the course of the program, right? Finally, we also provide you career support where we help you connect with opportunities in the field of data analytics across different companies, and this is because upGrad and IIT Bangalore have a very strong network of companies. IIT Bangalore, especially because they have a lot of alumni, it's a renowned institution. We also help you make a very strong resume which stands out from the crowd by actually taking your resumes and giving you proper feedback on it. We help you prepare for the interviews by conducting a host of mock interviews, which helps you, prep yourself and understand what to expect in an actual interview. I'll just talk about something else which is also a very unique part of our program. We have a very strong services support. Now, one of the things which is problematic about online courses is people who sign up for these courses, their motivation and engagement levels tend to reduce with time, right? A lot of times it happens that we sign up for courses online, but we don't actually end up completing them. In fact, the course completion ratio of online programs across the world, in fact, MOOCs as they're called, massive online open courses, is just 5 to 10%. That's a very, very small figure. Just 5 to 10% of the people who actually sign up for the program actually actually end up completing the course. But we make sure that this is not the case. We make sure that you are thoroughly engaged throughout the duration of the program. You are very, very motivated throughout the program by building a very strong support network around you in terms of relationship managers who are assigned to every person during the program. So these people will help you resolve any queries on course content, assignments, and case studies to make sure that you have a smooth experience during the 11 months. Right. and these people will connect with you at regular intervals if your motivation levels are down, if you're not very engaged in the program, and just try to talk with you and understand what your concerns may be and help resolve them. The other very strong element of this program is a very strong sense of peer-to-peer learning. So if you did your if you recall your college days, one of the most important sources of learning was your own peers. So while doing this program, you have around 400 people, 400 professionals like you doing the program at the same time. So this becomes a very strong source of learning for all of you guys. We make sure that you make the best use out of this network by ensuring that you connect with these people at regular intervals through case studies, group assignments, right? And through offline meetups, and also a very special element which is called a discussion forum. So a discussion forum is a special feature of our platform, which is a miniature version of a social media website wherein you can start a conversation on any topic, any academic topic, right? Discuss about any element that you might be facing issues in at any point in time, and you sort of just use it as a tool to connect with your peers better. So by the end of this program, with all these elements put in place, you emerge with a very strong network, professional network, which is a very, very important resource in your professional journey. Right, so those are some of the key features of this program, some of the features that set this apart. As a part of our efforts to spread more awareness about the field of data analytics, we are doing a roadshow of events where we will be doing more than 25 events such as this one, which includes workshop and webinars, where we will talk, where we are going to invite industry leaders like Ankit Jain, and who are going to talk about topics in the field of data analytics, right? So do look out for these topics, events. Log on to upgrad.com/events, and you will find out the details of these events, when and where they are taking place. The course, the next batch starts in March, and admissions are already open. In fact, more than 300 people are already signed up for the course, and we have received more than 2,500 applications so far. So seats are filling up fast. Do make sure that if you're interested in the program, sign up, apply online as soon as possible, take our test, and sign up for the program. We have a lot of scholarships for deserving people who have extremely good profiles or who do really well in our online test. So make sure you also look out for those things. Apart from that, if you have any other queries in the field of data analytics, if you have any doubts about where your career is headed, what can you do to sort of upskill in your life, in your professional career, do reach out to any one of us. Do log into upGrad, and you will find our contact details. You can get in touch with any one of us, and we'll help you to the best of our abilities. Once again, thanks a lot for joining us in today's webinar. It was a pleasure having all of you here. And I'm sorry this webinar started a little late. We were facing a few issues initially. Thanks a lot for everyone who joined in despite the delay. And thanks a lot again to Ankit for taking the time out and joining us all the way from San Francisco, and giving us so much information, so much knowledge in the field of data science. So yeah, thanks a lot for everyone, and do check out our remaining events at upgrad.com/events. Once again, thanks a lot to everyone. Good night.